So let's have a look at 3D Pythagoras and this question in particular. So it says this diagram shows a cuboid A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H with the label sizes you can see. AE is 4 centimeters, AD is 5, and DC is 8. Calculate the length of AG. What is AG? AG is this line here. I'll draw it dashed from A to G. So how do we find something like this? Well, how we can find AG is if we draw another line from A to C and a line from A to G, we see that there's a triangle AGC. If you guys can see what I mean, I'm just going to redraw it underneath here. Yeah, this triangle AGC is this triangle here. And this is a right angle triangle, so we can use Pythagoras on this. We're trying to find AG. We'll call that AG. So we need the length of these two sides. Well, GC, we know GC is the same as HD, and it's the same as AE, which is given 4 centimeters. So I'm going to write 4 centimeters here. And we know that because this is a cuboid. So these lengths are equal, and these lengths are equal. Now we need to find AC, but we're not given AC. How can we find AC? Well, if we look at this triangle ADC, this is another right angle triangle. Here we are given two lengths. So we can use Pythagoras on this triangle ADC to find the length AC. And then we can use the length AC here. So let's have a go at doing that. So I just redrew triangle ADC. AD has a length of 5, so I'm going to write 5 centimeters. DC has a length of 8 centimeters. And we're trying to find the length AC. Using Pythagoras, AC squared equals 5 squared plus 8 squared. Because remember, we call the longer side C. My bad. We call the longer side A. We call the hypotenuse the side that's opposite the right angle A. And the two remaining sides B and C. It doesn't matter which one is B, which one is C. 5 squared plus 8 squared, that is equal to 89. So AC is the square root of 89. We're not going to write the decimal answer for this because we're going to use AC equals square root 89 later on in the question. And if we round it to a certain number of decimal places, it's going to mess up the accuracy of the final answer. So now that we found AC is root 89, we're going to write AC is root 89 here. And now we can look at this triangle ACG. Because remember, our ultimate goal is to find the length AG. Now this is a right angle triangle and we have two given sides. So now we can use Pythagoras on this to find AG. First we label the side that we want to find. Not side, we want to find the hypotenuse. The opposite the right angle, the longer side, we label that A, little a. Two remaining sides, we'll call them B and C. So A squared or AG squared is equal to, the root 89 squared is just 89, and then plus 4 squared, which is 60. So AG squared is equal to 105. Square rooting both sides, we get AG is equal to the square root of 105. And to three significant figures, when we write that into calculator, AG is equal to 10.2 centimeters, and that's the final answer. Just a note here, B squared, which is root 8, when we square root, it gets rid